treatment of thyroid disorders. First, let's see the treatment of hyperthyroidism. Before that, let's see the synthesis of thyroid hormones in the thyroid gland. First step is iodide capture. That is, the iodide from the blood enters into the thyroid gland with the help of sodium iodide symporter, known as NIS. So after the iodide enters, the second step is oxidation of iodide into iodium. Iodide is oxidized to iodium with the help of enzyme thyroid peroxidase. The third step is organification. That is, the iodium gets combined with the thyroglobulin to form monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine. This can occur with or without the thyroid peroxidase enzyme. The fourth step is coupling, which is catalyzed by thyroid peroxidase. So coupling means one molecule of monoiodotyrosine along with one molecule of diiodotyrosine forms T3, whereas one molecule of DIT along with other molecule of DIT forms T4. This is coupling. For this, thyroid peroxidase is required. The fifth step is the release of hormones into the blood. The T3 and T4 synthesized in the gland are released into the blood. T4 is released more than that of T3. T3 is released only in very small amount. Next, sixth step is peripheral conversion. That is, the T4 is converted to T3, which happens in liver with the help of enzyme 5'-deiodinase. The T4 gets converted to T3 as the T3 is the active form. This is about the synthesis of thyroid hormones. Now let's see about the anti-thyroid drugs. First class are thiocyanates and perchlorates, which inhibit the sodium iodide symporter. Second class are thioamides, which inhibit the thyroid peroxidase enzyme. And the third group of drugs are iodides, which inhibit the release of thyroid hormones into the blood. These are the three major groups of anti-thyroid drugs. Anti-thyroid drugs. The first class are sodium iodide symporter inhibitors. The drugs which inhibit the sodium iodide symporter and thereby they inhibit the iodine capture. The drugs are thiocyanates and perchlorates. But these are not used now because they are highly toxic. The second class of drugs are thioamides. Their mechanism of action is they inhibit the thyroid peroxidase enzyme and therefore they lead to decreased synthesis of T3 and T4. The drugs included in this category are propyl thiouracil PTU, carbimazole and methimazole. The carbimazole and methimazole are the drug of choice for all types of hyperthyroidisms. The drug of choice is carbimazole and methimazole. The propyl thiouracil is considered the drug of choice in two situations only. First is in the first trimester of pregnancy, as this is less teratogenic as compared to carbimazole and methimazole. That is, there is less placental transfer. The second condition is during thyroid storm, which is life-threatening hyperthyroidism in which there is high-grade fever, arrhythmia and seizure. For thyroid storm, the drug of choice is propyl thiouracil, as it also inhibits the peripheral conversion of T4 into T3. The side effects of thioamides. Most common side effect is urticaria and dermatitis. And there is increased incidence of hepatitis and agranulocytosis with the use of propyl thiouracil. The third class of drugs are iodides. which include potassium iodide and Lugol's iodine. That is 5% iodine combined with 10% potassium iodide. These are the fastest acting antithyroid. So these are the second line drugs to propylthiouracil for the treatment of thyroid storm. They also reduce the blood supply to the gland and thereby shrink the thyroid gland. So they are used in pre-operative preparation. The side effects of iodide group of drugs are the acute side effects include fever and rash. Chronic side effects may produce iodism, that is mucosal inflammation like rhinitis and parotitis. And these iodides are teratogenic, so they should not be used in pregnancy. And in increased doses, they lead to hypothyroidism. This is about iodides. Fourth is radioactive iodine, I-131. Mechanism of action. The radioactive iodine is taken up by the gland, which enters the beta particles. The beta particles are short range, approximately 2000 micrometers. So these beta particles are responsible for the permanent cellular damage of the thyroid gland. But it is slow acting, so action takes many weeks. Use. Radioactive iodine is used in case of toxic nodular goiter in patients who are not fit for surgery. That is the patients who are elderly and who have cardiovascular disorders. For them, radioactive iodine is used as treatment. Advantages are the procedure is pain-free and easy to administer, and it is a permanent solution. The side effects of radioactive iodine include, in increased doses, it can lead to lifelong hypothyroidism, and it is teratogenic, so they should not be used in pregnancy. And it also has a possible risk of leukemia, that is blood cancer. The fifth class of drugs are the drugs which inhibit the peripheral conversion. This can be remembered by a mnemonic A-LIP. A for amiodarone, which is an antiarrhythmic drug. L for lithium. I for iodides in increased dose. And P. There are 3 P's: propranolol, prednisolone and propylthiouracil. So the mnemonic is A-LIP. Next, let's see about the treatment of hypothyroidism. T4 and T3 are used as treatment. The T4 is L-thyroxine, T3 is liothyronine. So T4 is longer acting and it has less side effects, whereas T3 is more potent. The drug of choice for hypothyroidism is always T4. In case of myxedema coma, that is severe hypothyroidism, T3 can be used, but the drug of choice still remains as T4. So the treatment for hypothyroidism, drug of choice is always T4 only. This is about the treatment of thyroid disorders. Thank you.